Welcome once again to our short video series from the Heritage Builders program of the Olympia Tumwater Foundation called Talking Over Old Times. I'm your host, Don Trosper. Throughout this series, you'll be hearing often about the Schmidt family and the impact they and the Olympia Brewery had on our area. The question for this episode is, what about the founding brothers, Leopold and Louis? What is their story before they arrived in Tumwater to start the Capital Brewing Company in 1896? Both brothers were born in Germany and did not start out to become brewers. The eldest, Leopold, was a seaman on sailing ships, starting at the young age of 14. He worked for the Hamburg American Line and arrived in the U.S. in the late 1860s. He learned carpentry in Missouri and then went to the Great Lakes region. While there, he decided not to return to be second mate on a new large ship for the Hamburg American Line. This was quite fortunate, since that ship eventually disappeared at sea with all hands on board. Leopold eventually ventured to Montana, where there was a gold rush going on. He worked in carpentry until he got a job working for a Frenchman who owned a successful brewery in Deer Lodge. And this was what inspired him in 1878 to travel back to Germany to study at one of the world's best brewing academies. It was there he met and married his wife, Johanna, and had their first child, Peter. They came back to Montana and built a very successful new brewery in Butte. More than a businessman, Leopold also got involved in the community and in politics, serving 2 terms in the Montana legislature. Younger brother Louis Schmidt was born in Germany in 1853 and came to America at the age of 14 to meet up with his father, who was working in Missouri. The father became ill and traveled back to Germany just before Louis arrived in the U.S., and the father died 2 months later, so Louis never got to see his dad again. The young man learned English and worked in Missouri vineyards for a time. He finally hooked up with his brother Leopold and moved with him to the Montana goldfields, where he worked as a cook and general handyman. Louis even took a job as a Pony Express rider with Wells Fargo. By 1882, he worked for his brother in the new brewery operation in Butte. Once they moved their families out west to begin a brand new brewery in Tumwater, Leopold took the lead role while Louis oversaw the building of the original structures. And for a time, he supervised the bottling operation. In 1904, Louis was elected mayor of Tumwater. He served a year and then bought property on Hope Island to farm and retire there. The brewery operation continued with the next generation of Schmidts under Leopold's eldest son, Peter, and his brothers.